Global soccer is the name. Saving young people is the game. What's it all about? You'll find out coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're at the Myrtle Beach Herald. We're focused on global soccer ministries, and we're visiting with its founder and executive director, Paul Banta. Good morning, Paul.
Good morning, Greg. I appreciate it.
Thanks so much for coming in.
My pleasure.
I think you just got back from overseas travel, and
Yeah, I did.
the thrill of getting you in exactly a month from y'all's fundraiser coming up on September 23rd is very exciting.
We're excited about it, and we just appreciate you having us this morning, sharing what we're going to be doing in that fundraiser for Guatemala. I just got back from Jamaica to work on actually a soccer academy, and we're doing a partnership with a ministry there. So we're quite excited what's going to happen there, but we got to focus on Guatemala right now.
Absolutely, and of course to think just a month from today, but even more exciting, I think last week I understand the tickets went on sale at the Beach First down in Pawleys Island and the 544 location, as well as the Eggs Up Grills. So you're already, and Pawleys Island Community Church, I'm sure, is selling them.
Oh, sure. We're excited about the fact that I think the whole Grand Strand will be wound up about getting to this program. It's going to be exciting. There's going to be a variety of things that will happen there. We're going to have a buffet dinner. There's going to be some art sale, silent auction.
Right.
Actually, we have Long Bay Symphony coming in, and some of the members there, and also a special guitarist. David is a friend of ours, and we look forward to just inviting the people in the community and having a great time.
And of course, such a great location for a lot of folks, and obviously with most of our viewers in the PD in southeastern North Carolina who may be coming down that weekend to make it a weekend at the beach, to cruise down into Pawleys Island for an event that kicks off at 6. And I think the ticket prices were $50 a ticket, I believe.
You can't beat the price.
Right.
And we just love the people in the PD area, just if they're in the area, just to join us for that evening. It'll be a great time for them.
It's amazing when you think about soccer, and I think I saw in some of the literature about global soccer ministries that it's recognized and is thought of as the most played sport around the world.
Oh, it is. It's the most popular sport. It's the fastest growing sport in the world. I mean, in the state of Georgia alone, it's the fastest women's sport. In the United States, I would think in about 10 years it'll be the fastest women's growing sport. So there are millions of kids playing in the United States, but there's tens of millions all over the world. It's a great opportunity to use soccer to reach kids for Jesus Christ, and that's what we're all about.
Those are great words, to use soccer to reach kids for Jesus Christ.
You better believe it. I mean, we're all vessels, or we're all tools, or we're all to do something in life, whether it's through sports or work. But soccer, since it's a worldwide sport and it's the most popular sport, what a better way to do that?
Mm-hmm. Good words. Paul, real quick about yourself. Are you originally from the area?
No, but I've been living here 22 years and like to consider myself a South Carolinian.
Right.
But originally I was born in New York City, and I don't tell that to too many people, but now it's out.
Yeah.
After being here for 22 years, and then raised in New Jersey for a short period of time, then moved upstate to a very, very, very rural area. Mm-hmm. In fact, I had to work on a farm. I trapped, I hunted, and I had a great, great youth life there. And then got involved in soccer when relatives came over from Ireland that we visited. I saw this game being played, and then we had it in high school. So I played the game of soccer and then went off to school to do it, and got all the licenses and years of soccer.
I think I saw you were later coaching in Illinois, and reading your testimony earlier this morning.
Oh, yeah.
Coaching in Illinois prior to coming down to, I believe, Coastal Carolina.
Right. Before I was in Illinois, we were in the Caribbean for a while coaching as well, and before that, New York. So we've been coaching for a long time. Enjoyed the Illinois area. I was there only for 4 years, but really the most thrill of my life was coming down into the South Carolina area. People here were so warm and friendly, and they were just gracious, and it was sort of like I was back in the country area of New York, which is completely rural. And of course we're now an urban area, but we've witnessed 22 years of growth down here, and the people have been just great in support of what we did in soccer at Coastal. And of course they still are. It's been a good program. And also we did a lot of community work with the YMCA and different clubs. So
great.
Had a great life in soccer.
Yes, you've used I and we a couple times. It's been more than just you traveling around to these different places coaching.
Yeah, my wife had to come with me.
Or you had to come with her, right?
And our 3 sons as well. No, fortunately or unfortunately, I'm not quite totally sure, but God has this plan for everybody that I picked up and left, and the family had to come with me to take care of my profession. So literally at this particular point in our life, we're not going to be coaching soccer anymore, and any teams at universities, we're going to focus in on global soccer ministries and doing that full time.
Your wife and sons, are they soccer players as well?
No, my wife wasn't. My wife actually played hockey in Jamaica.
Really?
She's a Jamaican, and she swam for the national team in Jamaica, so she's got an athletic background. All my sons played soccer.
Really?
Yeah, anything from club to high school to university.
Is that right?
Yeah, so we're quite happy about that. And of course they enjoyed their soccer, but they also enjoy different careers now.
Right, sure. There are pro soccer teams in the U.S., aren't there?
Oh, sure.
Are there any in the Carolinas, North and South Carolina?
Yeah, there are. There is Charlotte Eagles, which is a Christian team. Actually, the coach is a former player of mine.
Is that right?
Yeah, Mark Steffens. Then there's also some teams up in the part of Carolina. I think it's with Castle as a semi-pro team.
Okay.
Charleston Battery has a Division I team.
Okay.
Greenville used to have a team, but they don't anymore.
Sure.
So it's growing all over the United States, the professional. And then there's different levels, from non-professional up to the major soccer league.
Okay, wow. Fundraiser's a month from today. If folks wanted to learn more about it, if they need to get off to school or out to work right now, what's the best number to call, Paul?
Well, Della and Randall Ramsey are running the show in terms of ticket sales and whatnot. You would want to call 843-237-0595.
0959. I wrote that down. I'm sorry. And of course, you just got back in from overseas, and all these numbers are rolling together.
Let's do that again.
237-0959. Great.
0959.
And I know I caught you off guard earlier this morning saying, we wanted to focus on one number or the other, but with the fundraiser just a month away, giving folks the opportunity to make sure you don't sell out, and obviously in a location like that, I think you said you're having it at Pawleys Island Community Church.
Right, we're having it in that church, and that's our family church, and they've been gracious enough to allow us to have it there. And I think there'll be room for about 250, 300 people, something like that.
Okay.
All sitting around buffet tables, and it's quite tables, and there'll be a buffet meal, surf and turf meal, and it's going to be a real nice program.
I'm sure folks will want to call ahead of time so that if it is getting pretty crowded and it looks like it's going to be a sold-out event, they need to call that 237-0959 number.
We would want to do it today and as soon as possible, because there are not going to be that many seats. As I said, it's a beautiful church inside, great surroundings, and we believe it's going to be sold out. We're trusting God to do that.
Absolutely.
And we want you there.
Great,
we want you there.
great.
So call today.
Paul, when you're thinking about what the steps that happened in your life to lead up to founding and now helping set up a very exciting board, you all recently got the 501c3 status for Global Soccer Ministries. What were some of those steps that occurred in your life? I know I read about your testimony, which is fascinating, going back even into your time there in Illinois as it's written, albeit there may be more to it than that. Can you share with viewers a little bit about your testimony?
Well, I believe that God has got a special plan for everybody on the earth. Unfortunately, sometimes we don't seek that plan, or we don't even ask Him for the plan, and sometimes we're not Christians, we're not interested in what the plan is. We go our way. And I kind of grew up in a Christian environment and really wasn't interested in that. My dad was a professional baseball player. Although he was a Christian, I kind of get addicted to sports. And really, when you're addicted to something, it drives you away from the path that you need to be walking on. And so that's really what happened most of my life. I became addicted not only to playing the game of soccer, but to coaching the game of soccer. And the Lord comes and intervenes. Follow His path that He has for you. He intervenes in some people's life, and He intervened in my life. Under the circumstances, He basically didn't take me out of soccer, but He allowed me to start questioning, what am I doing? Why do I have such a life wanting to win a soccer game? And that was the most important thing, to get players together, to win a soccer game, to put a ball in the back of the net. All of a sudden I realized, that's not too important in life. It looks good on the outside, but really when I meet Him one day in heaven, He's going to ask me, what did I do for you? What did you do for me? What did you do for my son? And the answer for me was not sticking a ball in the back of the net or players that I coached. The answer was, what can I do for Jesus here on the earth? And I started believing in my heart that I needed to move in a different direction. And there's lots of circumstances that allowed that to happen. And the bottom line is I've moved in the direction that He wants me to move. He wants me to allow to use what I know in soccer to serve Him, to get Global Soccer Ministries moving not in this country, but in other countries, where there is no money, where there are kids that are sniffing glue and dying, kids are in prostitution, and you name it. I mean, they're living off the dumps in Guatemala, 10,000 of them a day, just to survive and live. And we're going to try to go down and make a small impact, and hopefully that we'll serve him and be used to him. And it's not for us, it's for him. I don't need the glory of winning a game anymore, and so can we have some opportunity to serve him using soccer as a tool, and we're doing that right now. That's a lot more to it than that,
right.
But that's kind of the path that I walked. I walked a path that wasn't for him, and it was an addicted to the game. I spent hours and hours. I mean, I spent 100 hours worth a week working to do soccer, and I became blinded in really what I should be doing. And so I'm not too blinded anymore. We're growing in the fact that God wants us to move forth using soccer as a tool to help kids come to know Christ, get them out of the circumstances they're in, provide them with a better education,
right.
Move their life forward in a Christian environment, hopefully produce possibly some professional soccer players, and we're developing the avenue to market and sell them now as we're speaking. And if they can't become that, then maybe they can become something in their country,
right,
to serve their country, and use Christ as a tool and soccer as a tool to move that.
Now, does Global Soccer Ministries have a model of a sort in the U.S. that you've been able to begin to launch in Romania, I believe, and in Guatemala and in Jamaica, other countries you're looking into? I mean, have you?
No, we don't have a model in here.
Okay,
not
right.
At all. Again, the model is there, and we're basically doing ministry in 3 different ways. First of all, we believe, and our board believes, that leadership is the most important thing. So we need to create leaders in these countries to actually do 2 things. Be the person they are supposed to be scripturally. I struggled with that all my life because my addiction came before anything I was interested in Jesus Christ. But can we use the scripture to be the tool to guide men and women how to really develop their personal life as a coach, as a teacher in our program, as a servant or a house parent. And so we're in the process of doing that. We've already done coaching courses in Romania and Jamaica. We'll be doing one in Guatemala this fall. And the second phase is that we're going to be doing outreach programs. In Romania, we have about a dozen teams right now that are playing in league play in the Dejir and Cluj area. And then we've done 800 kids in soccer camps this summer.
Wow.
300 the summer before, and we had our first overnight camp this summer. We're in the process of just about ready to hire a young man who is an ex-professional player and has the credentials there. And the other thing that we hope to do is we hope to actually build physical academies where kids from around the country will be able to live, get churched, go to school, get soccer education from professional coaches, and train that way, just like club soccer does in the United States. And so those are the 3 avenues that we're using on, and we're assembling people to do that right now in different countries.
You're assembling folks in those countries, or folks over here to go over there?
You know, we don't we don't think that the answer is to have a missionary from the United States go to a foreign country,
right,
to try to do something that they're going to struggle with in that foreign country. Although I'm an American, we don't think we need to have a bunch of Americans going to these countries.
Right.
We need to take Guatemalans, bring them up, train them, Romanians and Jamaicans, and they have those people in these countries already to be able to do those things that are Christians. And so we're seeking those people out right now. We are, in some situations, training them. Some situations we're getting actual verbal commitments for people to work with us there.
Okay.
And we feel that's the answer. We feel that is the best way to do this.
Okay. So the dollars used at the Friendraiser a month from today, on Friday, September 23rd, will be used on a global sense, really to help fund potentially all 3 locations as well as the ministry itself.
Well, this particular fundraiser will, and people could earmark it where they want to.
Right.
But this particular fundraiser is for Guatemala.
Okay.
We have a couple that's a missionary couple that lived in Guatemala. They have just finished some educational steps over here in this country.
Okay.
In fact, in a few days, we're going to fly them back to Guatemala.
Great.
And they have a place to stay temporarily. One of the guys that are husband and wife team,
right.
his dad and mom were missionaries there. He grew up in Guatemala.
This is a Guatemalan couple.
Well, he's Guatemalan by birth.
Right.
His dad and mother are Baptist missionaries that have done there for 32 years now. She's Guatemalan, and they have a new son, Levi. And you can go to our website and look at all that.
Great. GlobalSoccerMinistries.org.
That's right. That's right. And they're about ready to fly down there. And we're hoping to raise some more money for them, to stabilize them there so they don't have to come back as missionaries to this country and raise money. We don't think that's what we want to pull them off the mission field. Like a lot of missionaries do, they come back every 3 years or so.
Right.
So we're also doing that. We're also raising money to purchase a ministry center down there.
Okay.
We're about ready to lease it on a short-term basis and then purchase that facility. That will house 42 people. 42 people.
Great.
It's quite a nice home, and also 2 other houses on the property. 3 other houses, and a piece of land next door that we'll build a soccer field on. And it's right around the corner from an American school, and we'll be able to use that school facility to do some things as well. And we'll be using that for outreach programs in the geographical area.
Let's break down a typical day in the soccer camps this summer. Let's say where you had 800 kids. Was it in Romania?
Sure, that's right.
Let's break down a typical day. And again, the phone number 237-0959, where the funds can be raised either for the couple going down to Guatemala or, in a sense, the entire Global Soccer Ministries.
Sure, they can use that phone number, and if they'd like to speak with me, the Ramseys will give them the phone number, and we'll go on from there. I'd be happy to share.
Great.
A typical day in our day camp, we did 2 different types of camps. One was a day camping program for the last 2 summers in Romania, and then this was our first overnight camp for higher level players. The day camps are spread around in different places, and the entire morning part is part of a Baptist Awana program. People in South Carolina, if they're Baptist, they understand what that program is. It's a youth program based on spiritual side of biblical studies, and set for kids that are 6 through 18. There are also some great games to play, and the whole afternoon after that is spent with our Global Soccer Ministry staff over there, our coaching staff, and they do soccer all afternoon. We feed the kids during the day. Global Soccer Ministries provides food, and they provide coaching for the kids, and also transportation and lodging for coaching staff that we have over there that we've trained for the last 2 years. So we're excited about the potential of that, and I just got an email last night about 11 o'clock from Claudio Pope, who is our director over there, and he said God is moving in kids' lives over there with Global Soccer Ministries and the program that they've set up over there on the spiritual side and the soccer side. And many kids have come to know Christ as their personal Savior, and hey, that's the most important thing.
That's what it's all about for Global Soccer Ministries. That's wonderful. And of course, the leadership, it's not that they're necessarily playing and talking about the Lord during the day while they're playing. It's that aspect of someone who's leading them as a great role model is serving that, as well as your morning activities.
Oh, that's fantastic. I mean, we've between Clau and myself, he does the spiritual training, and I've done the soccer training. These guys, and actually we have one woman on staff, they really know what they're doing and how to spend time. They basically are a living example. The 12 of these guys and one of the girls that are doing this, they give up their time as volunteers, just like a YMCA local program here in Myrtle Beach, a volunteer coach. They give up their time to go into communities and reach out to kids to get them involved in soccer. And basically they live a life that's... and these kids watch their life and so on. In the last 3 years we've been running, we started off with 22 kids. We have over 150 now playing. 20% of these kids now know Christ as their personal Savior, where none of them did.
Wow.
And most of the religion, of course, there is Orthodox, and it's pretty closed. It's, you know, if the local priest finds out some of the kids are playing soccer and GSM, they're going to go and talk to them and say it's no good. Shouldn't be doing that. Because soccer is so important to these kids' lives, I hate to tell anybody, but they're kind of ignoring the local priest, Orthodox priest, and going out and playing soccer. And we use soccer as a tool in the training sessions during the week. There's a brief time for devotionals and sharing and educate kids spiritually without overpowering them. I was kind of overpowered when I was a youth, and didn't really feature that too much in my life. I thought I was being hammered by the Scripture and God in Sunday school, and I didn't like it. And most kids today veer away from pressure situations, and we in our Global Soccer Ministries, we don't want to do that. We want to just come to the kids and just as we are, and just teach them the game, and if they accept Christ along the way, hey, that's great.
For viewers who may not be totally familiar with soccer, Paul, what's so exciting about the field? What's so exciting about the game itself? I mean, you know, so many folks in the U.S. are, it's either newspaper, TV, or the internet even that brings what they know about to them. And of course, not watching a lot of TV, not watching a lot of soccer on TV or seeing it covered in the papers, albeit your former team here, Coastal, one of the greatest soccer clubs, teams in the Southeast, if not in the country. So what's so great about the field itself? Does it set the stage for good ministry opportunity?
Well, let's just take the game itself.
Please.
Without the ministry opportunities, the game itself in this country or any place in the world gives an opportunity for kids just to run.
Right.
They're not behind a computer. They're running and they're exercising. Mm-hmm. The next thing about it is the fact that they're using their feet in an unorthodox way in this country. Mm-hmm. We used to talk about this game 20 years ago. People would ask me the same question: why soccer? Mm-hmm. Well, why soccer? It's a great form of fitness. Kids sleep better at night, mm-hmm. And it's an unusual sport. They don't have to use their hands like other sports in this country, mm-hmm. and it becomes an interesting sport for them. They can do things that they would normally not do. Where I grew up playing baseball and basketball.
Right, sure.
And when I started using my feet, I found out, wow, I could do things differently. And so those two types of things. The other thing is that it's such a popular sport and a growing sport. More kids play it because there's more numbers on the team. Nice other thing about soccer is that kids get to know each other and there are friendships.
Good, yeah.
And they grow.
Great things to ask for viewers who are not familiar.
Sure. And not only that, friendships with children and other families grow.
Great.
And that's the way it's grown in our society. So we've got a lot of parental influence that's being pretty much done in a positive way. Mm-hmm. And so kids can now go on and after high school or club soccer, which is travel team soccer all over the United States, they can go on and play at university. They can go on and play professional. So there is now this sport that gets grown from very little to millions of kids in the United States playing. Mm-hmm. And it's the same. And with regard to soccer as a tool for ministry, it does the same thing. It attracts kids. For us, it attracts kids the same way it would attract them here.
Right.
A little bit different in different countries because, Pope John just passed away. Mm-hmm. Games were stopped in Poland and other places of the world, and they prayed. Mm. Okay? Mm. There are, hundreds of prayers. Mm. That doesn't happen normally in a basketball game, in a baseball, and a football game. Soccer is known to stop wars in the middle of a war to play a game. And so soccer is people have a passion for soccer in countries that, like we have a passion for football or basketball. Their passion in sport is soccer. Mm-hmm. So if we can tap into that passion, then maybe we can tap in and share the passion of Jesus Christ and why he died on the cross for them. One of the greatest movies was The Passion. Mm-hmm. We've known that for years. That's a passion. And so can we use that passion along with their passion and bring them together? So one day, I don't know if there are going to be teams in heaven, but I'm ready to coach if he wants me to.
Or play even.
I don't know about the playing. I'm not quite sure what the new body's going to look like. But the reality is that we say we're practicing down here what we're going to be doing up there. Right. So probably we'll have something like that up there, and hopefully we'll have some real good players that we've helped to
Great.
grow.
Paul, we just got a couple of minutes. We want to focus a month from today, Friday, September 23rd, 6th. I think you said 8:30, 9 o'clock.
That's right.
And of course, just let's break down the evening. You talked about door prizes, some special speakers. You've got a guitarist friend, some great food.
Sure. You're going to start off the evening. There'll be a silent auction. There'll be an art show. We have a lot of artists that are going to be showing some wonderful pieces of art.
Great.
I'm not too much of an artist, but I want to get this out. But when I was in high school, I painted and did some sculpting, and so the reality of that is it's a nice tool for people to work with, and some of the people are really very good, and we hope that people would like that art and purchase it because that will go to ministry.
Right.
There's going to be a silent auction. All that will be going. Some good opportunity for some things there. And then we'll move on to the buffet dinner, which Long Bay Symphony, a group of people will be playing, and then there'll be some special speakers after that, mm-hmm. and finishing at 8:30.
And the opportunity, obviously, to talk some about Global Soccer Ministries for folks who aren't familiar.
Well, there'll be a DVD, and we'll be sharing information there, and hopefully we'll have a lot more friends at the end of the night. We'll have a lot more partnerships, and we believe that the soccer going on in the Grand Strand, not only in high schools and university, local university, but also league. And we would like to see that Global Soccer Ministries as part of this larger plan on the Grand Strand. There's a lot of wonderful people out there that have supported us and will continue to support us, and we would hope that GSM will be a Grand Strand name.
Absolutely.
And get some support from people and see a greater vision beyond the Grand Strand.
Paul, thanks so much for being with us this morning.
And Greg, I appreciate you. I wish you the best. God bless. Thanks a lot for having us.
Absolutely. Stay tuned to more Carolina People with Paul Banta coming up next. Think about that. You got up around 6:30 this morning. It's almost 7:30 now. Think about the last 60 minutes. During the last hour, over 1,625 children were forced to live on the streets because of death or abuse in their what would be families. More than 115 children in many countries were forced into prostitution because of their lives and trying to need something. I wish you could see the picture of this boy on the street with glue in his hand, forced to use it to try to kill some bug that he may have picked up. It's incredible to think there are lives outside of your own life that are impacted. You can make a difference. You can make a difference. You can make a difference today. You can make a difference over the next 30 days by investing in global soccer ministries. You wonder about, how can I make a difference? This is a ministry that's reaching many. It's just kicked off within the last 5 years, but has already, you heard Paul talk about it, 800 kids in Romania and Guatemala, and now the opportunity to get into Jamaica. You can make a difference. A big fundraiser coming up September 23rd. Call 237-0959. That's 237-0959. GlobalSoccerMinistries.org. Big night, $50 a ticket. You heard him talk about great food, surf and turf down at Pawleys Island Community Church and their family center. Give them a call, 237-0959. Make a difference.